ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone in between, and viewers of all ages, welcome to the Everything and Nothing Show. I'm just one of your hostess with the mostest, the mouth from the south, the beast from the east, the best from the west, Clayton Kisco. And I'm accompanied, of course, by the rest of the Maelstrom Gamers, a.k.a. the underdogs in gaming. We have with us today on this podcast the bad boy himself, Steve Landis.
Keep up your energy, guys. Clay, I love the energy.
Awesome. Next up, we have the Canadian station.
My heart's pumping.
We have the A Train, a man who probably hasn't coffee yet, Alan Toner.
I just woke up and I just danced to that song.
You look like you're about to pass out, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be pretty.
Yeah.
His keel's over. Ah.
Alan's ready to go today. I can see it in his eyes, though. Yeah, it's right there. And last but not least, we have the Enigma, the man that you hear but never see, Ian. Good bow, Ian.
Oh, guys, just did my infamous bow, and let's get this thing rolling.
Hell yeah. For those who are wondering, recently we've had some technical difficulties. So first off, Rocco's been away for a while. You guys might be like, where the hell's the heartthrob? I want to see his beautiful face. Well, you can't. He's been working on his day job very hard. It's his selling season. So he's got his nose to the grindstone there. And
Those to bag powder of white stuff.
that's how it keeps going. That's how it keeps going. All those pharmaceutical topics. And the other thing is that I think my computer, and I know Steve's had some computer issues, it just went kaput, so we're kind of like getting that back up to steam. So we've been rolling a little slow lately. Bear with us. We're going to gain some speed really shortly. In fact, two great little pieces of nuggets is that due to all the support out there and the help of the supporters that went to patreon.com/maelstromgamers and gave us as little as $1, we were able to use some of that support to help Steve-O with a new graphics card, which will allow him to stream more League of Legends games and other video games. So you might have noticed that we haven't been doing that as much lately. That's why. And since we've been getting the support, Steve's back in the chair, and he's back streaming, and I'm super excited.
Yeah. So you could catch the stream that I did last night, 4, 5, and 30, Leona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
30. Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Destroyed.
So just another example of how support can really help us keep trucking, keep going, and keep improving. And then you're going to see some of your support dollars go to good use pretty soon here. In fact, as soon as next episode when we debut a brand new overlay that's all sexy and not like my own construction. And we're going to have our first ever guest, Matt Core, jump on. He is the owner, creator, and content developer for ControlPaint.com. If you guys have ever kind of wondered, been like, hey, Clay, that's a cool overlay. I don't think so, but maybe you do. And you're like, I would really like to do that in Photoshop. Or, hey, Steve-O, those thumbnails that you create for the live streams, those are really neat. I would love to learn how to do that in Photoshop. Well, there's a website for that. It's called ControlPaint.com. It's got all the beginner tutorials and a ton of great knowledge sharing from Matt. He's a professional. He's a professional. He's a professional concept artist. He's worked in the gaming industry for a long time. He's done a lot of freelance work, and now he's moving on to helping individuals who go to his website learn the basics and some intermediate tactics and knowledge about working in Photoshop and digital painting.
Clay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
He was the first guest ever?
He's not the okay.
Painting me right now.
Oh, look at that. So he will be our first guest ever, but we need to give a shout out to Izzy. Izzy D. What is that her Twitter handle?
Yeah.
She is technically our first guest. However, there was a
Well, why is that?
because someone who's not named Clayton accidentally screwed up the audio for that episode, and we lost it. We've lost a couple episodes. People think maybe we're just like trucking out this content, but I want to let you know we've lost like at least 5 episodes like throughout the process. So there's some content in the ether that like people just will never get, and unfortunately that episode will be one of them. But the plan is once we get these guests rolling in, have her back on and kind of like do that and roll that again because she's really interesting. She's very entertaining. You can catch her on Twitch. She streams games and plays a bunch of them. Super cool, down to earth person. So. And if we have her on again, her interesting topic is her backstory. So I won't spoil any of that.
Yeah, I forgot about now, so then we can just probably roll with it again.
Yeah. So let's get started. I'm just going to say, Ian, do you want to start us off? I know that you're going to have a couple topics for us today.
Yeah. You know what? Let's go ahead and just start it off easy. I'll let you guys wake up a little bit because I see Alan there dozing off. Okay. Well, so the first topic here is actually something that is kind of controversial. People are at least making it that way. Is what are your guys' thoughts on Elf on a Shelf?
Yeah. Can you explain it? Because I have no idea what this concept is.
That's with Will Ferrell.
Exactly.
Oh, I like the movie.
That's the sequel.
Oh, right. Sequel.
Yeah.
To that movie with Will
So the whole thing with Elf on a Shelf is for kids. Parents put this elf and they put it on the shelf, and every night they move it. And the whole concept is that this elf is watching the kids, making sure they're behaving, and he reports to Santa every night and comes back and gets into a different location. So
I would
That is
not fall
fucking
asleep.
Terrifying.
I would not fall asleep. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's.
So think of that, but then like what the controversy is people are saying, well, that's kind of like gearing our
Stalking.
kids. Well, think about like yeah, that too. Pushing our kids towards always being watched, like the government is always watching you. Like
Oh, we should definitely do it then.
So that's something that a lot of people are like, why do we do that? So it's a good concept, trying to like, oh hey, behave. You're kind of being watched by Santa's helper. But
Oh, behave.
stop it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on it? Like, hey, have you ever heard of it, Steven? Or do you do
No,
that?
I mean, now that you explain it, I kind of heard of something like that. I remember there was a book on it, right? Or something like that.
I believe so.
But anyways, no, that sounds creepy as shit.
Yeah.
I guess because like,
Really scary.
I mean, I personally like I don't like dolls, and if one was to move, like,
Yeah.
and it was there the next morning, I would be like up, like on my blanket, just like looking at that doll, just like, oh my god, like
It sounds like a fear tactic.
I wouldn't be like that.
Right?
It sounds like a scary thing, like I don't know, man, because you want the kid to sleep, obviously, right? Like, because if Santa does come and put the presents, I mean, you don't, aka Santa. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but he's not real.
What?
Just so you guys know that. You didn't know that? But
Listen,
yeah,
I'm sure we have some 5-year-old viewers of this show that are gonna have their image of Santa ruined.
Yeah. Fuck, man. I feel bad for them shit. So it's simulating like a real like elf that exists, and then he reports to Santa. So like I was saying, like it sounds like fear tactics. Like to me, that it's maybe not something like I can see how it's kind of cute and like funny and goofy. I guess it just depends how it's presented by the parent. If the parent's like, I swear to God, this elf is going to know if you're bad, and he will tell Santa, and you're screwed. You know what I mean? But if it's like, oh, the elf, like kind of like cheeky and like not really taken too seriously, I could see how that could be kind of funny and fun. So I think it's just how it's presented by the parents,
Right.
Yeah,
But
but
still, I feel like the kids' minds are so fragile. They're always. I think I agree with Ian about how they're worried something's watching them at all the time. Even if it's not, they don't associate, government surveillance with the same thing. It's kind of like, oh, like he's watching me. Like I gotta be good. Like that's. I feel like that's gonna sink into their subconscious as they get older, and like always be worried about somebody, keeping track of what they're doing. Even I'm sure, they're going to be like, oh, Elf on a Shelf was just my parents' way of making sure I was acting good and stuff like that. I think it might have an effect on the long run.
So what do you think's different then about Elf on a Shelf and like just Santa's concept in general, right? Because like I know that when I was a kid, it was like he's always watching you,
Yeah.
right?
That's
so
true.
is this just really close? Is it like the next level where it's like, okay, I can physically see this thing, I can actually touch this thing, it's corporeal, and it's fucking moving. So I mean, I can see how that
I
is
guess,
like,
yeah, it's a little bit more solid. Like they have evidence, like he is watching because he's right there.
yeah,
and he
Tomorrow,
moves.
he might be somewhere else.
and he moves, and he moves.
He was in the shower this
What
morning.
more do you need to know?
These poor
Behind
kids.
the toilet, like, just look funny.
Here's some toilet paper.
See, I would be that parent where like I lay it next to them while they're sleeping at night,
Just like staring them right in the eye. Oh my god, what if they were like laying on the pillow and like it was just staring them in the eye when they woke up and they're just like, what the f-? Just throws it.
You're a terrible person. Ian.
absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
What's really good about this though is that they now have come out to. There's pictures that are going around the internet, which I think are hilarious. It says why husbands shouldn't move the elf because like they have him like with Star Wars guys, and he's hanging from the above the oven.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. That was a good one.
Yeah, and then
I didn't know it was an elf though. I just thought it was some kind of doll, like just messing around.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Like he gets like all the action figures, and there's one where like he has a Chucky doll and the elf, and they're sending a snowman through a shredder. It's really funny stuff, but
That's scary.
Yeah, and that's
Why are husbands doing this?
That's what they say. They say husbands shouldn't move the elf. Just go ahead and Google it.
Oh, because if they do it, it's gonna be in.
They do it, like with the crazy stuff.
Right. Okay, I see. Because I guess predominantly it's been the mom or something.
Yeah. I guess one of the parents moves it at night. Some people like hang it on a chandelier.
Right.
Move it on the shelf. Or
By its neck.
Yeah, just like.
I was watching you, but now I was killed by my evil counterpart.
It would be funny to like have like I'm crazy, man. I feel like I would want like the elf there and then start telling a story like like the next day like maybe there's two other elves or like there's like something else that's like
Elves had sex last night.
Yeah. Just like a crazy position.
A whole nother story, man.
I don't know if I get that far, but like somebody else is like beating on the elf and then like the next night like
Batman's there.
No, 3 more elves come up, and then it's like this like sharks versus jets. It's like elves versus like I don't know, trolls.
Like, so mom, they're not gonna watch me because they're a little busy with that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I
that would
don't know.
just
I
be
feel
entertaining
like
for me.
I don't know. I feel like if I would have did that to like Kira or Bella, I think Kira would freak out the most because she's got weird phobias or something like that. Like she absolutely can't stand it when something's turned on and she can't turn it off. Like I don't know what it is, but she freaks out. You remember Tamagotchis? You remember how they stayed on all the time? They stayed on all the time, right? And we got her that for like Christmas one time, and she wanted to shut it off, and it wouldn't shut off, and she would literally like having an anxiety, a panic attack because it wouldn't shut off. And we're like, it doesn't shut off. You sit on, and then you feed it later. It's fine. Nothing's wrong with it. And she's like, no, shut it off. Take the batteries out, something like that. And we're like, well, do you want to just throw it away? She said, throw it away. Put it outside, throw it away. And like we had to act like we threw it away. We're gonna give it to somebody else because it wouldn't shut off. She does that with everything. So like, I feel like that would have scared the crap out of her. The whole elf on the shelf.
You would have had to throw away the elf.
It sounds like there's like a loose like she doesn't like loose threads or it's like a control OCD kind of thing.
I think so too, because I mean, she freaked out one time when the computer wouldn't shut off either. She couldn't shut off the computer. Like, I don't know what it is. That's so weird. Like, we still don't understand to this day, but she doesn't like.
Wow, that's interesting.
Pretty interesting, yeah.
Yeah, so like, and that's it falls on the responsibility of the parents. If Elf on the Shelf is like the correct tactic or like correct thing to do with your kids, right? Like, some kids will respond differently. I think that's I don't know. I think it's an interesting concept. I think it's a funny concept. Like, it doesn't even have to be like Elf on the Shelf could also be like just during Christmas. I think that's like a fun game to play, and like maybe if everybody's in on it, like each person in the family household takes a turn moving it and putting it somewhere, and like maybe dad forgot to do the dishwasher or something, so like the daughter noticed that and put the elf like next to his like bed part, you know what I mean, because like everybody was like ragging on him. I don't know, like I feel like it could be used in a really fun way.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do that with your son, you think?
Maybe. I don't know. It depends like what our dynamic is in that family household. If
He
it's
hates his dad.
yeah, if my son hates me, I'm not. Yeah.
Yep. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
There
So
we go. Hopefully it'll last.
yeah. So that's cool. Good stuff, Ian. Elf on the Shelf.
Yep.
Elf on the
On the
Shelf.
shelf. First time I ever heard of it.
So let me ask you guys this real quick then. Will you do that with your kids?
No.
No?
No, you're not.
No.
Well, you have Boxing Day, Alan. You can't do Christmas.
Boxing Day is the day after Christmas. We have Christmas in Canada.
No,
Play.
Canada's
The only
Boxing
time.
Day,
Yeah.
where you get 3 boxes.
No,
They may or may not be.
Viewers, this is not a thing.
Please go on. What is
We have the freedoms of Christmas in Canada.
You're not allowed, I thought. This is crazy.
Wait,
Also,
what?
I go home for Christmas, which is in Texas, the most American state. of all.
Pretty damn American.
Actually, it's the most Texas state of all. It supersedes America.
It's awesome.
It still has the death penalty.
Chuck Norris is from there.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Pretty, yeah,
I mean,
that's
Argue
legit.
that.
It's a ranger.
Yeah, he's a Texas Ranger.
He
He's a
walks.
I don't think I don't know. I might do it. I like fun
I'm gonna
things like that.
do creepy Annabelle doll on the shelf.
Oh, oh.
I'm
Scary.
I
do
would be afraid.
puppet-
I wouldn't want
puppet
to move that
clown
shit at night.
on the shelf.
Clown on the shelf.
Whoa, hi guys.
Dad, why does it have to be done in Christmas?
You've been really bad.
So for anybody listening to MP3, you're lucky because on the video, Alan turns his face into a clown via webcam, and it is freaky.
Yeah.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Hey guys, that episode that was brought to you by Facebook.com/Maelstrom Gamers. You guys can hop onto Facebook. You can like our page. You can like our posts. You can comment on a bunch of them, and you can write on our wall. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your comments. We want to know you're out there. It supports us for free, and it's a really great way to kind of get in touch and always know when we're coming out with new stuff. So check that out.